I am here in Sderot in southern Israel nearly a year after Hamas October 7th massacre of 1,200 and kidnapping of 251. On the day, nearly a year ago, Hamas murdered 10 cyclists, and we are here today with the professional cycling team, Israel Premier Tech, survivors and enthusiasts in order to take part in a ride in memory of those who were killed, and one more cyclist who is currently held in Gaza, Ofer Calderon. I am here with Irit, who is taking part in the ride. Irit, how are you?
It's a tough morning today because we are a team from this area, from Gaza, and we're on the 7th on the roads here around Nachalos, Kfar Aza, and it is it's a very tough morning for us because we actually rode these roads this morning, and we are going back to the same places that we were riding that morning.
Did you know any of the riders who were murdered by Hamas?
We have one team member from our team that was murdered with his daughter.
What's his name?
Nadav Goldstein.
Nadav Goldstein.
And he was murdered in Kibbutz Kfar Aza with his daughter. His wife and 3 kids were kidnapped to Gaza, and they were released after 51 days. So yes, we know it's a memory ride also for him and to all the 10 others.
How many kilometers are you riding?
Today?
Yeah.
Actually, we did 30 till now, and we are going to do 30 more till 30K.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is Amelie Batol reporting from Sderot, southern Israel for India Today. I am here today reporting from southern Israel. 2 days before, Israel is marking the anniversary of Hamas's massacre, October 7 massacre of 1,200 people and kidnapping of 251. I have with me here Avida Bachar, a survivor of that massacre who lost his son, his wife, and his leg in Hamas's October 7 massacre in Kibbutz Be'eri. Avida, why did you decide to come today?
Today we're riding for a people who's not with us anymore. And we have to remember them, and we have to riding for them. So I think this is our mission. They stay with wishes, and we do it. It's about community, it's about bicycle, it's about people. So we remember them, and we go forward to Be'eri right now.
You know, Israel does not understand, is not committed to the international law. It has proven that it is not committed to international law. Genocide in Gaza has shown and proved to the people that Israel do not pay any attention to the human principle, ethics. So it just understands the language of force.
So they might retaliate.
Israel did not see anything in front of itself. It occupies Lebanon, in South Lebanon, even in Sabra and Shatila, inside Beirut, capital of Lebanon. They killed too many people in Sabra and Shatila camps. But when Hezbollah appeared, when Hezbollah got enough strength to push them back, they withdrew their forces from Lebanon and they went back. Of course, still there are some parts of territory of Lebanon is under occupation of Palestine, of Israel. Regarding Palestine, you know, nowadays no one could stop genocide in Gaza.
I'm saying that Iran has been investing in this machinery of war and of terror, in terrorizing not just Israel. They are responsible for killing 500,000 people in Syria. They have taken hostage the state of Lebanon. With the pretext of fighting ISIS, they have created all these militias in Iraq. They have destroyed Yemen. They have destroyed the Middle East. And they are trying to destroy the state of Israel. So what happened is that they failed. They failed colossally because two of their main proxies in the region were defeated by Israel, and now they find themselves having at last to fight themselves, and they are failing. They might have more missiles, but whoever is the aggressor must pay a price. And I'm very glad that many countries around the world have condemned what Iran has been doing. And I'm sure we're going to find a way to send a clear message to this fanatical regime that we will not bear. They made a very big mistake.
The one party who is against every political settlement is the terrorist state of Israel. Israel has always refused the political solution and has always resorted to military measurements. What happened recently, if we want to talk directly on the current situation, is that, yes, Lebanon has been working with international powers for a ceasefire on the Lebanese front and to kind of separate it from Gaza front. And there has been, with the good offices of France and the USA even and some other European powers, there has been a kind of draft agreement for a ceasefire, ceasing of hostilities. But there was a kind of plot, because even our minister mentioned it, that late Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah himself agreed to a ceasefire. But then the assassination happened, and the kind of breach of trust. Then the whole situation went to square zero.
First of all, we had no option just to retaliate the invasion of Israel on sovereignty of Iran because of assassination of Ismail Haniyeh inside capital of Iran. This is the first. The reason of our intention of our operation. This is something which should be clear for you and for your audience. This is one thing. Secondly, we targeted military and intelligence installation and structures of Israel, which affected its capability. Of course, Israel has support of United States. As you know, the new bombs which is used and deployed by Israel recently has been submitted to Israel by United States.
What happened is that missiles have hit Israel, some of them that weren't intercepted. We didn't intercept those who would hurt essential places or civilians or military bases. And the rest we just don't intercept because it's not worthwhile to invest in a missile to intercept something that is going to hit in the open space. So it's very embarrassing for the Iranians. I understand. They have prepared all this machinery of war, spent billions of dollars on the account of the oppressed Iranian people that do not have water, that are suffering from lack of essential things in life. They have deprived them from that from them, and instead they are investing in this terror campaign to create these armies to choke the state of Israel, take control of the Middle East. These dreams have vanished. They are not worth anything.
We know that Israel has the backing and the support of a superpower, maybe the supreme power of the world. And they own the money, they own media, and I myself, being the ambassador of Lebanon in India for quite a while now, I know that despite this aggressive campaign by the Israelis, and they also maybe have some channels or some open channels with some Indian media, but still they can't control the common Indian. The common Indian know for sure what occupation means, and they know that the Palestinians are oppressed, that the Lebanese are oppressed, and they know that Israelis are the aggressor, and we are on the right side of the history, and we will win.
Well, India Today's Shivarur explains how the Iran-Israel war has escalated in the last few days or so.
Remember that one of the big questions that a lot of people have been asking when they talk about the certainty of an Israeli response against Iran for that missile strike is, what could Israel possibly target in Iran? And in that discussion, one of the things that keeps coming up are Iran's nuclear facilities. Their nuclear facilities where they enrich uranium and create weapons-grade uranium for a possible nuclear weapon at some point of time could be on target. But the question is, can Israel credibly target Iran's nuclear facilities? Let's do a reality check on that. First of all, point number one to consider, Iran's nuclear sites, at least the ones that Israel would probably want to target, are at least 2,000 kilometers, about 1,000 miles away from Israel's air bases, which means that Israeli fighter aircraft and bomber aircraft would definitely need some kind of aerial refueling in order to just get to those areas to conduct that kind of airstrike, which means that Israeli aircraft would need to overfly many, many hostile countries, possibly Saudi Arabia, Syria, Lebanon, and others, in order to even reach a country like Iran. So that's sovereign airspace. That's, of course, a completely different complication. Let's assume that the aircraft from Israel have been able to cross those obstacles. They still have to enter Iranian airspace, and Iran has its own air defense shield. They've got ground weapons, they've got surface-to-air missiles, they've got air defense weaponry on the ground. So no Israeli fighter or bomber would be able to enter Iran uncontested, unmolested, and therefore even reaching any of those nuclear sites would be very, very difficult. Remember that in order to offset the possible damage to at least some of these aircraft from that hostility that Iran would show, Israel would theoretically need to send a large number of aircraft. A Financial Times report says even 100 aircraft would probably need to be sent. Now, Iran's Natanz nuclear site, the biggest nuclear enrichment facility of Iran and part of its nuclear program, is actually situated hundreds of meters below the ground. It's a subterranean facility and it's not on the surface of the earth, so it's deep underground. And Iran's Fordow facility actually happens to be in a dig out in a mountain, so it's basically inside a mountain, so hugely protected by many, many tens of hundreds of meters of earth. Now, Israel does not have the kind of bomb, perhaps the only kind of bomb that can penetrate, tens of meters of earth in order to destroy something that's buried deep beneath, like a nuclear facility. Israel doesn't have the only weapon that is theoretically capable of doing that. It's called the GBU-57A/B, the MOP, the Massive Ordnance Penetrator. Israel doesn't have that weapon, and even if it had that weapon, it doesn't have aircraft that can carry that weapon and deliver it in a credible way. So, all in all, just to summarize, Israel could probably, in a very, very perfect scenario, if they're able to cross all the obstacles and negate all of the different hurdles that I've highlighted here, they would probably be able to damage some of the structures at these nuclear facilities, but they wouldn't be able to destroy them, not even come close to it. So this is very important to note.